Agut Woch. Agut Chodesh. Afreiliche Chanukah Rabboisai. On the bottom of Tzadik Vav, Amud Beis. Reb Tarfon Oimer, Bishel, B'tchilas HaRegel, Yevashel B'yikol HaRegel. We're discussing the chiyuv in the Torah to wash out the pot that you cook a carbon in. Says Reb Tarfon, yes, typically speaking, you have to wash it out after it becomes noisar. You wash it out. But not on Yontif. On Yontif, as we're going to see in the Gemara, it's one halacha. All the days of Yontif are once, you wash it after Yontif is over. The Chacham V'Oimrim, Ad Zman Achila, Merika Ushtifa. So the Gemara is going to explain what that means. Merika, Kemerika is a kois. Ushtifa, Keshtifa is a kois. Merika is inside, Shtifa is on the outside. That's how you wash out the pot in the Beis HaMikdash, inside and outside. Ushtifa k'shtifa zakos. You do merika like a kos and shtifa like a kos. Merika ushtifa betzoinen. So this already is touching upon Shitas Rebbe. Merika and shtifa is with cold water. Hashafud. How do we kasher a skewer and the grill, the grate of the grill? How do we kasher it? Huh? Libun. So let's see what the Mishnah says. Hashapod, skewer, va'askalo, the grill, the grate, magilam bechaman. All you have to do is put it in hot water. That's less than what we do today. Usually you need a kiboilikach polta, you have to use a torch, make it nice, red, white, whatever the color is. No, the Beis HaMikdash, they'll take it, put it in hot water. Says the Gemara, my time the Rebbe Tarfon. Why does Rebbe Tarfon say that you don't have to wash it until the end of Yontif? You don't have to wash the pot. After Yontif, you go back home. There are people who live out of the Tchum. They can't hear the Tchum, just in case. We got to talk about it once in a while. Tchum means that you're allowed to go 2,000 amma from your house in every direction. But let's say you have to go 4,000 amma to one direction. So what you do is you put a bread, let's say 2,000 amma from your house, and then that bread turns into your house, and then from there you go another 2,000 amma. So the bread becomes the center. You can go 2,000 amma to this direction and 2,000 amma to that direction. And therefore, you can't go into your backyard in your house. There's a red line. Because you can't go more than 2,000 amma in any direction, but your direction starts from that bread. Anyway, that's tchum. Stop throwing it in here, why not? Says there's people that live out of the tchum. They can't get home. So obviously, it's talking about after Yontif is over. Okay, so after Yontif is over, it's ufanisi b'avoyke. It's one morning. The entire Yontif is one morning. You telling me the entire Yontif? Let's say you have Pesach. You have 7 days that if you thought that you're going to eat this carbon in 4 days from now, while you're shechting it, what is that called? It's called pigul. But since the entire Yontif is considered 1 day, so there's no pigul for the entire Yontif. You can't think 4 days, 5 days out to make it pigul. There's no noise. You left it overnight. It doesn't turn into nicer. Why? Because there's no overnight. It's considered 1 day. You'll say, yeah. Says, it's one halacha when it comes to cleaning the pot. That's it. Not for noisa or not for pigul. So what's the reason that Reb Tarfon says you don't have to wash the pot until after Yontif is over? Since there's many korbanos brought on Yontif, there's many shlamims. So every time you put a new shlamim into the pot, it takes out all the treif, all the noisar, so to speak, or whatever. It's almost going to be noisar. It takes out all the almost noisar out of the pot. The chachamim moimrim, ad zman achil. No, don't worry about it. Next time you heat up the pot, you just had noisar from a few hours ago. Poof, takes it out. Whatever you put in now, the second one comes out by the third batch and the fourth batch. There's so many korbanos over Yontif, you don't have to worry about it until after Yontif. My Kamar, what is, I said in the Mishnah, what's going on here? So over here, if you have a pencil, it's kedai maybe to write in the Gemara. Ad zman achila means until after the zman achila. The hodar ovid lo merika ushtifa. You wait. So Ariel asked me the other day, I didn't learn this yet. I asked him, when do you wash it? Could you wash it whenever you feel like? Right when the pot is... No, you have to wait until zman noisar. You wait until it becomes halachically noisar. If it was out of the pot, it would be noisar. So the blias, whatever the pot absorbs, becomes noisar. Then you wash it. Not immediately. How do we know this whole halacha of washing the pot? The Gemara asks, why are these two psukim next to each other? Interesting, here. The moirak v'shutaf, this idea of rinsing the pot has to do with kol zachar b'kohanim yochal, has to do with the eating. You wait until after the zman achila, v'hodar ovid lo merika ushtifa. Merika zakois. Shtiva zakois. You have to rinse the inside, the merika inside, like the kois that you do the benching on. Ushtifa b'tanarabah. And shtiva also, like the benching, like the kois. Tanarabah, merika ushtifa b'tzoinen, divi Rebbe. Rebbe says, we see at the end of the mission, last words on Amud Beis, and Tzadik Vav Beis, should be, merika ushtifa is with cold water. V'chacham oimrim, merika b'chamin, ushtifa b'tzoinen. Merika is really like hagala, and you do the shtiva with cold water. So now give me no chamin and tzoinen. My time in the Rabbana. Where did Chachamim come up with their svara? Mitzvah have a gulei goyim. What happened by Midyan? Let's see, we have the pasuk here somewhere. Kol davar sheyovay bo'esh taviru beish v'tar. Klal Yisrael captured Midyan, so any pot of Midyan that was brought in the fire, the way to make it kosher is through fire. Rebbe says I wasn't arguing in the Hagala part. The Merika Ushtifa, the Basa Hagala. There's Hagala, and after Hagala, after you do that water, you have to rinse the inside and the outside. And that I said should be with cold. Why is the Torah changing the language? If both of them are cold, Merika and Shtifa are both cold, so you should use a different language. Merika and Shtifa seems like they're different in terms of the temperature also. No, when you wash the inside, it's with hot, the outside is cold. Maybe if it said morak, then this makes a lot of sense. Like, what's the Gemara's having? If it said morak twice, I would think you have to wash the inside twice and the outside twice, or the outside twice. Not the outside and the inside, just one of them you have to wash twice, the inside or the outside. One is the inside, one is the outside. At the end of the day, it doesn't seem like, it's hard to understand what the real machlokes between Rebbe and Chachamim are. It looks like they both agree there's Hagala. They both agree that there's Tzoinen, there's cold water. And some say that maybe they're not even arguing, they're just arguing where they learn it from. So says the Mishnah, Bishal boy kachim bechulin. The guy's making chon. He takes meat from the behema and he puts chulin in there. Or kachim kalim. Two cases. Either he takes a carbon together with mundane food, or they're both kodesh, but one has a higher kedusha, one is kachim, like a chatos, an asham, and one is a kachim, like a shlamim. And put them in the same pot. In the chalm pot, he put a little bit of flankin from the kachim, and then a little bit of what else did he put in there in the chalm? Some other type of meat from the kachim. So don't get trauma on me over here. We're not going into any, deep sugis of basar v'cholav of this. But noisy time just means if you can taste the flavor. If in your cholent you can taste the carbon, you can taste the meat in your cholent, even though you have a lot of potatoes, then you have to treat the entire cholent like a chatos, let's say. Meaning you can only eat the cholent for one day. you can't eat it outside of the Beis Hamikdash. You got to treat it with respect of the more chomer of the two. So this seems like a contradiction. The Gemara is going to say it is a contradiction, and it actually is a whole new halacha. It says, if you could taste the flavor of one of them, we have to treat it as that, whatever you're tasting. So if you taste the chatas, you have to treat the whole cholent like chatas. And then it says, which means you don't have to, the Gemara is going to explain, you don't have to wash the pot like a chatas, you just wash it like a shlamim. But why? I could taste the chatas here. So shouldn't I wash it that day? Why would I wait 2 days to wash it? And whatever it touches doesn't become like a chatas. Why not? It is a chatas. So in fact, the Gemara is going to tell us, I'm pointing it out here so it doesn't seem so foreign. Ve'enam tunam meriko shtifa is talking about another different case. It's a chesuri mechser. You have to insert a couple of words right over here, right before the ve'enam tunam meriko shtifa. It's a different case. Next case. Rakik shenaga berakik. You have two breads. You see the middle ones that look like lafas, like pitas, that's rikikin. So if one that was kosher touched one that's puzzle, there's blias. There's absorption from one to the other. They're hot, correct. Rakik shenoga berakik, a puzzle touched a kosher, v'chaticha, and a piece of meat, hot meat, touched another piece of meat. One is kosher, one is puzzle. Like a kikin, like a chaticha is a sort. Not all the pitas, not the entire pita has to go out. You just cut off a piece. Like a chaticha is a sort, not all the meat. And he also on the magim shabala. Only one finger breadth, this width of the pita, you have to cut off nicely. That's puzzle. That got absorption from the puzzle, so that you get rid of, but not the entire pita. It's not like electric. It's not like what's a good tuma. Tuma would spread to the whole pita. No, what touch, that's it. That's the Gemara Mike Homer. It doesn't seem like a contradiction. What's a contradiction? It says in the Mishnah that if you have two items in one pot, and you could taste the item that's chomer, so we have to treat the entire pot like that item. And then it says you don't even have to wash it like that item. Why not? If you could taste it, then you have to treat it like the chamor. Then you should have to wash it like a chatas. And the puzzle will make the kosher puzzle also. If you can't taste it in a kamna, so then you don't have to treat it like the chamor, like the chatas. Says Gemara, nihi the kochi kochim leibo. Kochi kalim nibai. Says the Gemara, you're right that the kochi kochim don't need to be washed. Oh, that's it. Fine. I messed up over here. Nachum, my comment, the stira. The Gemara answers. The Mishnah is telling us two different halachas. Again, my comment. Halacha number one is in the Mishnah. The Mishnah talks about two. It mentions only that there's a flavor. And for that, you have to know that if there's flavor of the chatas, what happens? You treat it like a chatas for everything, for washing, for getting rid of it. Then there's another halacha. If it's a chesuri mechsera, it's missing these words. Meaning, it's not missing these words, right? Every time we learn chesuri mechsera, I have to explain it again. It means that those who know how to learn, they get it. It's obvious. It's in there. Time of the Gemara, they chap. But they try to save words, it's easier to remember. If you can't taste the flavor, then nothing. Zero. Then you don't treat it like a chatos. And if you don't treat it like a chatos, you don't have to wash it like a chatos, and it doesn't pass. Ask the Gemara a question. So I explained it in the Mishnah. The Mishnah says you don't have to wash it. Why don't you have to wash it? But you have two items in this pot. You have a kochim kalim. You have to wash a pot if it's kochim kalim also. So why does the Mishnah say if you have two items, you don't even have to wash the pot? Okay, don't wash it on the first day like a chatas, but wash it on the second day like a shlamim. Omar Abayo, you're right. When it says you don't have to wash it, kochim, it means you don't have to wash it the first day. Have a kochim kalim tunim, you'd have to wash it the second day like a shlamim. Omar no, Omani Reb Shimoni. This goes the sheet is Reb Shimon. The Omar kochim kalim ain't tunim and rikush tivo. For the kachim kalim, you in fact don't have to wash it. You only have to wash it for the kachim. When it comes to Rava, I understand why he brings us two cases. One case was that you cooked a carbon together with chulin. And the second case was you cooked kachim kalim. I want to tell you the chiddush that the Allah is like Reb Shimon, that there's no shtifa marika when it comes to kachim kalim. But how does Abai explain why the Mishnah mentions two cases? Says Gemara tzricha because there's a tzrichuza. When you put kachim and chulin, it's two different types of food. One is kodesh, one is not. Aval kachim, the kachim kalim, they're both kachim. You have one is kal, one is chomer, but they're both kachim. Emaloi, I would think that it's min b'minoi. Min b'minoi is not mevatel. If I have two, I have both of these. I would say that because they're both the same, so one could overcome the other. One kachim could overcome the other. But chulin doesn't have the power to overcome kachim. It's chulin. Kachim kalim could overpower kachim, but not chulin. You have bread that touches bread. A pita touches bread. A pita. It says in the pasuk, touching causes a psul. So I think even if it doesn't absorb, has to be inside the meat. I think, let's say the chatos touches a little bit and it absorbs a little bit. You think that the entire thing becomes pasul like tumah? No, whatever it touched. Hanugeh apostle, and that's it. What it touched. Okay, so there's a little bit of a contradiction. So what you do is, like we discussed in the Mishnah, you take one finger breath and you cut that down, and that's it. Bivsara. It says in the pasuk, Bivsara. These are, what do all these things have in common? They're not edible. The sinews, the bone, the horn, the hoof. Yigdosh, says in the pasuk, Yigdosh, lias kemaya. It becomes like it. Okay, sad imsula yid pasuk. If pasuk touches another piece of meat, both of them are pasuk. Vim ksheri, de'ach kechomer sheba. And if two pieces of meat, one is kachi kalim, one is kachi kachim, they touch each other, the kachi kalim has to, you have to treat it like kachi kachim. Ask the Gemara a very interesting question. I myself need help here understanding the question. I didn't get 100% clark here. The Gemara asks, we have an assay. Oh, I wanted to show you the psukim here. Okay, but you'll understand the psukim. The psukim tell us, here's one pasuk. There's a mitzvah to eat kachim. It's a mitzvah assay. So we have a problem here. You have this mixture of food, right? So what's bothering me, well, forget what's bothering me. Let's say what the Gemara is bothering the Gemara, because then you have food that's possible, touch food that's kosher. We're saying you can't eat this kosher food. But wait a minute, the Torah says you should eat it. But doesn't the Torah also say you shouldn't eat pigul? Pigul is also a noisar. How could the Torah say don't eat noisar? There's a mitzvah to eat korbanos. So obviously this is different. Why? Because when you have the whole piece is possible, it's a piece of pigul. That's what the Torah said. The Torah said first, don't eat pigul. This whole piece is tamei, don't eat it. But over here, you have a piece that's betzim kosher. It touched another piece that's possible. The Gemara is asking that maybe, for whatever reason, that piece now has a mixture of tumah and tahara in it. And the assay of eating korbanos should overcome the lois assay. Anything that has to do with the Beis Hamikdash, we don't say this concept that the positive overcomes the negative. There's a mitzvah to eat carbon pesach, but you have to make sure not to break any bones. Now, in the bone, you have the marrow, the bone marrow. A lot of people like it a lot. They break it open and they eat inside. So why shouldn't you be able to break it open to get to the food? Which is also a mitzvah to eat everything from the...
What are you doing? How will I eat the marrow?
Okay? That's not Leisasesh Beruba. There are bones that have marrow, bones that don't have marrow. Amai, the mitzvah of eating the Korban Pesach should push off the loisase, the avera of breaking bones. Korban Pesach is considered Beis Hamikdash. In other words, Korbanos, anything that has to do with kachim, there's no concept of esa doicha loisase. Rashi Omar Yigdosh Aseyu. There's another word that says that the shlomim, we're talking about shlomim, let's say that absorb the chatos. Yigdosh, it becomes kadosh. So now we have another assay on top of everything, on top of the lois assay. So we have on the one hand you have a lois assay and an assay, and on the other hand you only have one assay. One assay cannot beat out another assay plus the lois assay. Yigdosh assayu, in assay, doicha, es lois assay, v'assay, rabboizai, have a good deval, after Chanukah, a good chodesh, I should say it a little different. Shkoyach for coming.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.